Black in full effect. General Seti in the house, man. On the front line as always. Uh, Carmelo Anthony incident, sentencing, appeal, and the uphill battle that, is happening right before our eyes. As, white America seeking to literally destroy Carmelo Anthony in order to destroy, you know, the rebellious spirit of black America. You know, real black America. We're not talking about these Negroes. No, sir, we're not talking about these Negroes who are instrument of the powers to be to try to, trying to destroy the voice, the rebellious voices of those who know the truth, been knew the truth, okay? And so I have never seen so many people, you know, I'm talking about, black and white. I have never seen so many people, you know, not for nothing like this. Not for nothing like this. Yeah, this gonna go on for a minute. This is gonna go on for a minute. This ain't gonna die down at all. It's not gonna die down. Because the fight just started. It ain't even. We just got in the fight. A lot of people's is bringing up information, but we got to stay 10 toes down. You can't be on the and then get soft and get to going off track, get to talking about shit that don't matter. You know, I'm watching everything that's happening in real time. They're flooding the algorithm with supporters of uh, Austin Metcalf, the Metcalf family. Even though there are many supporters of Carmelo Anthony out there. Why do I say that? I just went on and I put in Carmelo Anthony, and I mean, it was just like across the board as I was scrolling across, the videos. It was just, so many that was attacking Carmelo Anthony. You know, they're trying to suffocate him, even though he's already been sentenced. They're still out there attacking him in any which way that they can. And I mean, it's a whole lot of criminal motherfuckers. Uh, 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 it's a lot of, but why is it? When, this black boy must be eradicated. They've never tried to do that for no white perpetrators. They ain't never tried to do this for no white perpetrators that were found guilty. They still be trying to, give them money and they've been murdered, somebody black, literally in cold blood, but, for black people, we always have to, have that grassroots rebellion, you know what I'm saying, in the streets, on, wherever we can, on social media, because we have never been in control of the criminal justice system. The criminal justice system has always been under the control of white America. And these is facts. So they have prejudice and they have power, just like with YouTube. You see, they have a political agenda. They'll tell you they don't, but every organization has some form of a political agenda. They all have, you know, they all have a platform on which they have a direction that they want they brand to move in a particular direction, you know. And so YouTube is just like any other white institution, you know. They gon' when it come down to the get down, they gonna support their own. They're gonna support their own. They try to play this, oh, we fair, we liberal, we fair, and but that's not true. Okay, that's just not true. And so, to understand that, they are even attacking Carmelo Anthony on, I mean, literally on all the news networks, they going in. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, vile. You could tell they got this vile disdain for because the reality is they have never really been punished for killing us and hurting us and lynching. They have never really been punished. You know what I'm saying? The majority of lynchings, the majority of when these police kill black people, the majority of them, they have gotten off. They have gotten away. We have never gotten no justice. All the lynchings, the lynch mobs would come to the jails and just take them out. Take the black people, lynch them, and the sheriffs and shit say there ain't nothing they could do about it. Nobody was ever punished for none of that. So you got thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, into the millions that have been violated and have never received no justice. And I bring it up. I don't give a fuck how, if you harm my ancestors and they did not receive justice, I'm fighting for it today. I'm gonna make sure they receive they justice. We ain't gonna just sweep shit under the world. See, they don't give a, that just lets you know they look at our ancestors like they dirt. They don't give a goddamn. If it was their ancestors, they would be doing the same thing. You feel what I'm saying? And so that's why they trying to erase our history, you know? Because, they always, again, if a black man and woman, if they go in that criminal justice system or any system dealing with the United States, the first thing they gonna do is pull up your file. You see, a lot of jobs, they want to do a criminal background check on your ass. They want to do a criminal background check on you. They want to know what you done in your life. If you got any serious violations. You see what I'm saying? And so, motherfuckers got felonies and shit. They'll throw that on your ass too. And some people didn't have felonies when they was young. That shit go with them all the way to the end of their life. It's a mark where they trying to, you know, push a certain population out of every arena of, jobs and shit like that, and so they'll mark you and always go to your history, and it's a scar that many of our people carry for life, even their own people. But a lot of our people, disproportionately, they go and pull, and they get all of these damn, these strikes against them. That they keep bringing this shit up. But when you bring they shit up, oh, that's the past. Oh, that's the past. You know what I'm saying? Why are you bringing that up? See, this is the shit that I'm talking about. This is the shit I'm talking about. And that's why we have to we have to have rebellious platforms on the grassroots where we can speak up for ourselves. Cause we can't, we don't have no arena. We don't have no CBS and no NBC and none of that shit. We don't have that. We don't, we on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. But you got to, unless you done mastered the art, of being able to say shit in a way that won't get you took up off the motherfucker. A lot of people get strikes and shit, for saying a lot of shit, So you most definitely can't say what you need to say all the time on a platform. You have to, and that we need to have somewhere where we can let loose. You feel what I'm saying? I need to be able to talk like I need to be able to fucking talk. I don't need to be trying to, walk it down. Fuck that. I want to be able to say what I need to say, you know. And so yeah, we got to understand that yeah, we fighting these social media platforms too because they got an agenda the same as MAGA. That's real talk. They got the same agenda as goddamn MAGA. Okay, and so and when see the thing is when they flood the algorithm with nothing but Metcalf supporters, it gives the illusion that it gives the illusion that a majority of people uh a majority of people support Austin Metcalf. You see, that's what it's doing. Right. It gives the illusion that majority of, and it's a lot of Carmelo Anthony supporters. I think the majority, and I ain't gonna say the majority, cause I don't really give a goddamn. Long as the right segment of our people support him. We don't need all these Negroes, cause they ain't, just long as the right segment of our community, the ones that's gonna put that work in. If they ready to work that hard for the Neanderthal, let them go right on ahead. You understand what I'm saying? Because we gonna be victorious, man. We moving, man, with a mission today, you know, to elevate our people by any means necessary. You see, I see a lot of, our peoples is looking like they got vigor today. A lot of them got vigor. And it don't matter which segment, they got vigor one way or another, and that's good because when it come down to the get down, a lot of these movements with inside of the black community, they're gonna have to come together for the sake of victory. And wherever after the victory, wherever they want to go with their consciousness, that's okay. We can respect that. We can respect that. But in the meantime, a lot of these groups with inside of the black community, particularly the conscious community, you feel what I'm saying? Is gonna have to band together for victory. And yeah, we could talk about, whatever else after we get victory. And really, it's respect to the point that we understand we need one another to be victorious. Because if it get ugly, it ain't no fuck what we could talk about this shit later. You feel what I'm saying? When they see us, they don't see none of the shit that we discussing. That's something on the higher plane that only us really understand what's being talked about. When they see us, they see a nigga. And so they're going to attack us all. They see us all as one. And that's what we have to understand. When we come outside of that, our bubble, our black consciousness bubble that we live in, we got our own world. But when we come outside that world, they don't see none of that shit. They see a nigga. And they're going to attack us all the same. So once we understand that, you know, as this shit get serious on all levels, you know what I'm saying? We have to band together and form a united front to make sure that we gonna be all right. You feel what I'm saying? Real talk. We gonna be all right. And hear what I'm saying to you. But anyway, family, I want y'all to click that link down there. Patreon, get over there to the General's Patreon page, support, because I got a lot of valuable information over there, always have. And I'll see y'all black here in a minute. Boom, Black Power.